Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In part 1 of the Let's Say Code series, we explored some of the most important life-saving appliances on board ships like life jacket, life buoy, immersion suit, anti-exposure suits and pyrotechnics etc. If you missed that video, make sure to check it out by clicking the link in I button above. Today in part 2 we are moving deeper into the LSA code to discuss one of the most critical piece of the survival gear. I hope you will never have to use but must be fully prepared for the Liferaft. We'll talk about the Liferaft arrangement, launching method, carriage requirement, equipment contained in Liferaft and PMS of Liferaft. So without wasting time, let's get into the video. First topic is Liferaft requirement. As per LSA code, Liferaft should be capable of withstanding exposure for 30 days in all sea conditions. The Liferaft and equipment should not be damaged if dropped from an height of 18 meters, and a floating Liferaft with or without a canopy must be able to withstand repeated jumps from a height of at least 4.5 meters on its floor, and it must be able to tow at a speed of 3 knots in a calm water while fully loaded with people and equipment. There must be at least one viewing port and provision for collecting rainwater. There should be provision for mounting a SART, that is search and rescue transporter, at least 1 meter above sea level is required. And as we know, the total mass of the container and equipment should not exceed 180 kg. It should provide insulation against heat and cold using 2 layers of material separated by an air gap. The minimum capacity of Liferaft is a 6 people. The length of the painter line is minimum 10 meter plus the distance from the stored position to the water line at the lightest seagoing condition, or 15 meter, whichever is greater. The breaking strength of the painter line is 15 kN for the Liferaft with a capacity of over 25%, 10 kN for 9 to 25%, and 7.5 kN for any other Liferaft. The Liferaft can be inflated by one person, and it inflates within 1 minute at ambient temperature of 18 degree to 20 degree Celsius, and within 3 minutes at an ambient temperature of minus 30 degree Celsius. So as per LSA code, there should be some markings on the container, and they are the ship's name and port of registry, maker's name, serial number, date last serviced, painter length, number of person permitted, name of approaching authority, solar spec type, manufacturer's date, launching instruction, maximum permitted height above the waterline. Now let's see the Liferaft launching method. Basically there are 3 methods. First one is manual, second is automatic, and third is davit launch. Let's look at the first one, manual launching of Liferaft. First of all, secure one end of the Liferaft painter line to a strong point on the ship's deck. Remove any lashing or securing straps from the Liferaft. Check that the ship's side and water area where the Liferaft will launch is clear from the obstruction. 2 people will lift the Liferaft container carefully and throw in overboard horizontally. Ensure the painter line remains secured on the ship side. Pull the painter line sharply. This action triggers a gas inflation system. Inflate the Liferaft automatically within about 20 to 30 seconds. Once inflated, pull the painter line to bring the raft alongside. Lower the embarkation ladder or jump directly onto the inflatable Liferaft, depend on the situation. Board the raft carefully, sitting face to face in the balance order to prevent capsizing. Make sure survival instruments such as an search and rescue transporter, that is SART, and emergency position indicating radio beacon, that is EPIRB, are on board. Take a head count of all persons aboard. Cut the painter line with a knife or other tool to release the raft from the ship and allow it to drift safely away. Now let's see the automatic launching of a Liferaft. The Liferaft is stored on a deck in a container secured to the ship via a HRU, that is called hydrostatic release unit. As the ship sinks, the water pressure acting on the HRU increases. When the HRU reaches a depth of approximately 4 meters, about 30 feet, the water pressure activates the mechanism inside that unit. This mechanism uses a sharp knife or a chisel to cut the lashing strap that holds the life raft container to the ship's deck. Now, the life raft is free to float on the surface. However, it remains connected to the sinking ship by a long rope called a painter line. As the ship continues to sink, the painter line becomes taut, and the tension on this line pulls the trigger, which activates the gas cylinder inside the container, usually filled with a CO2 and a nitrogen, causing the life raft to automatically inflate. And the point to be noted that the painter line is also connected with the weak link and designed to break under the specific amount of tension around 2.2 kilonewton. Once the life raft is fully inflated and buoyant, the increasing tension from the sinking ship which breaks this weak link. At this point, the life raft is completely detached from the sinking vessel, allowing it to float freely. Now let's see last one, davit launch life raft. First of all, remove any ship's handrail or gates obstructing the launching area. Attach the davit hook securely to the lifting point on the life raft container. Pull out the painter line and secure one end to the strong point on the ship. Pull out the bowsing line. Bowsing line is a rope or a tackle used to keep the raft close and parallel to the ship's side when the lowering and boarding. Lift the life raft container by the davit and position it over the side of the ship at a height suitable for inflation and boarding. Pull the full length of painter line sharply to trigger automatically inflation of the raft. Secure the raft alongside to the ship using bowsing line, as I explain you what is bowsing line, and embark the life raft carefully, sitting evenly to maintain stability. Take a head count to ensure everyone is aboard. Remove or release the davit brake and begin lowering the life raft toward the water. When the raft is approximately 1 meter above water, release the davit hook using an operating lanyard or allow the raft buoyancy to pull the hook free. Cut or release the painter line after the raft is waterborne to allow it to drift safely away. Now let's see life raft carriage requirement. Let's look at this simple table that summarizes everything you need to know. Let's go row by row and see what each requirement means. The ship must carry enough life raft to accommodate all persons on board. That means if you have 80 people, your life raft should be seat 80 or more. Life raft must be placed on both sides of the ships, that is port and starboard. Why? During emergency, you want a safe evacuation no matter which side of the ship is accessible. Specifically for on cargo ships, if life raft can't easily move from one side to other, then each side must have 150% of required capacity, that is extra safety to ensure everyone can evacuate no matter where is the issue occurs. For a passenger ships, lifeboat and life rafts are divided so that each side get at least 50% of lifeboat and 25% of life raft capacity. This balances distribution ensure all passengers can reach a life raft or a lifeboat quickly. If a distance between any two survival craft exceeds 100 meter, a remote life raft must be provided there, and it should be able to be manually released for easy access. Every life raft must seat at least 6 persons. This is set by the standard to make sure no raft is too small to be practical in an emergency. Life raft must be equipped with an hydrostatic release unit, that is HRU. This device automatically releases and inflates the life raft if the ship sinks. Remote raft may be exception and can be manually released. There must be enough life raft so that even if one raft is unusable, there are still enough space for everyone on board. That is called the backup capacity. No raft including in its container and equipment should be heavier than 185 kilograms, and this keeps the things manageable for a crew to deploying by hands. Finally, all life raft must meet strict construction, equipment, durability and protection standards set by the SOLAS, the International Convention for Safety Life of at Sea. Now let's see the equipment contained in SOLAS approved life raft. Nothing to explain in this. You can pause the video or take a screenshot of this list. In the oral, surveyor may ask you that what are the equipment contained in the SOLAS approved life raft. You must answer him at least 10 to 15 equipment from this list. Now let's get to our next topic. Now let's see the plant maintenance system for life raft. It is a very important topic. Let's see the daily checks. What are the daily checks? First, confirm the presence and proper stowage of each life raft. Ensure all access of life raft is unobstructed. Check for any visible damage to the container or securing arrangement. Ensure painter line is properly attached to the hydrostatic release unit and weak link. Now let's see the monthly checks. Turn out each raft from its stored position if the weather is permitting and no person aboard. Inspect container, lashing, painter lines and HRU for sign of wear, corrosion or damage. Check the embarkation ladder, launching appliances and remote release wires. Take inventory of safety equipment inside the raft, checking expiry dates for rations, medicine, flare and batteries. Clean external surface and remove salt debris. Record inspection and maintenance complete in relevant ship's logbook. Yearly checks. Life raft must be surveyed at approved service station at least once every 12 months as per SOLAS requirement. Service can be extended up to 17 months if impracticable. Thanks for watching this video on Liferaft. I hope you found this information useful and clear for your studies or maritime safety knowledge. In our next video, we will dive into the rescue boat requirements, including detailed procedure for launching and recovery, as well as PMS to keep their critical craft ready for emergency. So don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated and never miss out our upcoming safety tutorial. If you have any question or topic you want to cover, please leave me a comment.